are. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming tonight. We're so excited to be presenting something a little bit different in the back room. I think we've done novels exclusively. We did one event with nonfiction and now short stories. And I'm going to give a little shout out to Stacy for the suggestion. I thought it was brilliant. And now here we are tonight. We're going to be talking about short stories. For those who are here for the first time and maybe don't know me, I'm Karen Dion. I'm the USA Today and #1 internationally best-selling author of two psychological suspense novels that are set in Michigan's Upper Peninsula wilderness, The Marsh King's Daughter and The Wicked Sister. They're both published by Putnam's G.P. Putnam Sons in the US and in 28 other languages. The Marsh King's Daughter was named one of the best books of 2017 by iBooks and many other booksellers and reviewers. It won the Barry and Crimson Scribe Awards, and it was released by Lionsgate in 2023 as a major motion picture starring Daisy Ridley and Mendelsohn. So, yay for The
Amazing.
Marsh King's Daughter, right? So now let's get down to text. We're talking about short stories tonight. We have amazing short story writers. I'm going to introduce them tonight in alphabetical order. So that means you, Michael. Michael Bracken is the Edgar and Seamus nominated Derringer winning author of almost, this has got to be a typo, 1,300 short stories?
Not a typo.
Not a typo. 1,300 short stories.
Almost. I'm a few short. I'll get there soon.
Oh my goodness, I guess you will. So that's astounding. They've been published in Best American Mystery Stories, the Best Mystery Stories of the Year, many other publications. He's also the editor of Black Cat Mystery Magazine, an associate editor of Black Cat Weekly, editor or co-editor of 32 anthologies, including the Anthony-nominated The Eyes of Texas. He received a Lifetime Achievement Award for the short mystery from the Short Mystery Fiction Society. And earlier this year, he was inducted into the Texas Institute of Letters for his contributions to Texas literature. He lives, writes, and edits in Texas. Correct?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, it's just that's an amazing background. And we look forward to hearing your comments about short stories.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now we have Kristopher Zgorski and Drew Ann Love together. And the reason they're together is they wrote a short story together. So I would tell you a little bit about them. Kristopher is the founder and sole reviewer at the crime fiction book blog Bolo Books. In 2018, he was awarded the Mystery Writers of America Raven Award for outstanding achievement in the mystery field outside the realm of creative writing. That same year, the blog was nominated for the Anthony Award. Kristopher writes a column on digital crime fiction resources for every issue of Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine. Kristopher's first published short story was Ticket to Ride, which is a collaborative work with fellow blogger Drew Ann Love. It appeared in Happiness is a Warm Gun, crime fiction inspired by the songs of the Beatles. Now get this, his first published short story, right? Ticket to Ride has gone on to win the Agatha and Anthony Awards for Best Short Story and is nominated in that same category for the McCavity Award. So, yay and hooray. Now, Drew Ann Love, she's the proprietor of Drew's Book Musings. Drew Ann won the 2024 Agatha and Anthony Awards for Best Short Story for Ticket to Ride. And it says it's her first published short story. So I'm telling you, you guys just knocked it out of the park, didn't you? I won't say it's all downhill from here, but when you start on a high plane like that, you've got a lot to live up to going forward. Yeah. So in 2017, Drew Ann was awarded the Mystery Writers of America Raven Award for outstanding achievement in the mystery field outside the realm of creative writing. So for those of you who don't know how this works, these are reviewers. These are book reviewers that use their blogs to elevate my fiction, the other novelists' fiction. And so it's really cool to see you guys writing your own fiction now and getting recognition for it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Completely awesome. Yeah. And Wendy Walker. She's the internationally best-selling author of psychological suspense. Her books have been published in over 23 foreign languages and have been optioned for film and television. Her latest novel include What Remains and the Audible original Mad Love. Wendy is a magna cum laude George, I can't say that. Graduate of Brown University and Georgetown Law School. Prior to writing, she worked as a lawyer, an investment banker, and trained for competitive figure skating. She lives in Fairfield County, Connecticut, where she raised three sons. And then last but not least, that's what happens when your name is Woodson. Hey, Stacy.
Hey.
Stacy Woodson is the co-editor of three forthcoming anthologies, a Macavity Award nominated, Thriller Award nominated, and two-time Derringer Award winning author of close to 40 short stories, which to me that sounds like a lot. I'm sorry, Michael, you're just in another category. 40 short stories is a lot. And her work has appeared in various publications and anthologies, including Best Mystery Stories of the Year. Stacy made her crime fiction debut in Ellery Queen's Mystery Magazine's Department of First Stories and won the 2018 Readers Award. And apparently that's the second time in the award's history that a debut has taken first place. So yeah, another one who just knocked it out of the park, right? Her work has been adapted for animation, which is something I want to learn more about in the breakout rooms as well. Stacy is a U.S. Army veteran and a member of the SAG-AFTRA. When not writing, she teaches writing at Outliers Writing University and works as background talent for movies and television. Past projects include Showtime's Homeland, Amazon's Jack Ryan, AMC's The Walking Dead, World Beyond, and Wonder Woman 1984. I don't think we're going to run out of things to talk about any of these authors tonight, are we? Half an hour in the breakout, each breakout room is not going to be nearly close enough. But now we want to give them a chance to talk. I've done enough talking. We're going to play a quick little game of 20 questions so that you attendees can get to know the authors a little bit. We actually have official backroom cards with the questions on the other side. So I'm going to ask these questions in the order that I see the authors on the screen. And by the way, while we call it 20 questions, it's more like 12 questions, but that doesn't have the same ring to it, right? So you'll each get three questions. And I'm going to start. Drew and Kristopher, I want you each to answer. So we'll double up on this. So when I ask this question, I'm asking, are you a morning or a night person? Kristopher, you first.
I am definitely a night person. My day really doesn't begin until after dinner. I'm up really late at night doing a whole lot of reading, a whole lot of writing. I thrive at the night. I think I should have been a vampire.
That's so cool. Well, I'm glad you're wide awake for this event then, aren't you?
And I'm definitely a morning person. I get up between the hours of 3 and 4, and I really wish the world would get up at the same time so I have something to do.
Oh, wow.
Drew and I occasionally talk when I'm going to bed and she's waking, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm definitely in the breakout room going to find out how does your collaboration work if you're never awake at the same time, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Wendy, what book made you want to be a writer?
Oh my gosh. John Grisham's The Pelican Brief.
Yeah.
I read it when I was a practicing attorney. Oh no, I was in law school. I read it when I was in law school, and I loved the intricacy of the plot, and it just after that moment, every room I was in, I thought about it being a scene in a book.
That's so cool. So you thought, oh, I could do this, or I would
Not
want
then.
to.
It just started happening, or I'd be in a some contentious meeting, with my as a lawyer, and I would think, oh my gosh, this would like I wonder what's going on behind the scenes with these clients, or would start spinning plots. It was years later when I first got the idea to start writing, and the first book I wrote was a legal thriller, which is in my drawer, and no one will ever see it because it's way outdated. I mean, I think I had like VCR tapes and things in that book, so it would have to
You
be
could
like
call
a
it.
historical fiction or
I
something.
was just thinking exactly that. You save it long
I
enough.
mean, like, yeah, don't get me started on that. Oh my God.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Stacy, you're up next. Where do you write?
Where do I write?
Where?
Anywhere I can. No, I do have an office. I'm lucky enough to have a space that's dedicated to that, but I do have two small children, so sometimes I'm writing in the car while my daughter's at basketball. practice. Sometimes I'm writing in a parking lot in my car, hiding from my children or in my closet. I tried dictating. I'm not so good at it. I've tried different ways to get words on the page. So whenever I can find time.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously working for you. And so congrats on that. Michael, what was your favorite book as a child?
Not a specific book, but I loved the Freddie the Pig series. It was a whole bunch of books about Freddie the Pig, and I really enjoyed them.
Were you a city boy?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I suppose one assumes Freddie lived on a farm. So
Yes, Freddie lived on a farm and he was a detective and he did all sorts of cool
uh,
stuff.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, inspiration usually hits pretty early, doesn't it? We've asked each author tonight to bring along a book recommendation for us because, one can never have too many books to read, and it's really nice to know what other authors are reading and enjoying. So, Drew and Kristopher, we'll start with you. What-
So the book I'm recommending is The Night Woods by Paula Manier. I first discovered her book. I'm a visual person, so I saw the cover of her first book, and I just fell in love with it. I also fell in love with the character Mercy Cart and her dog Elvis, and I enjoyed the riveting adventures that she falls on. But in The Night Woods, she's 8 months pregnant in the middle of a winter storm, and she's looking for clues to help her friend. And it just pulled at me, and it was an excellent book.
Nice. Thank you. Kristopher?
My choice is Hall of Mirrors by John Copenhaver. It's actually the middle book in what will eventually be a trilogy, but it can certainly be read as a standalone. Readers who read the first book, The Savage Kind, met Philippa and Judy, two seniors in high school who met and solved a crime in that book and fell in love. The next book picks up right as they're going into college.
Thank you. Thank you. And Wendy, what book are you recommending?
Try to hold it up a picture of the cover. It's not out yet. Okay, yeah. Oh, the Retreat
Mhm.
by actress Kristen Ritter. This is actually her second novel, and this is just so much fun. It's out in March, so you have to wait a little bit. But it's a con artist who kind of needs to disappear, talking about long cons and short cons, and has an opportunity to do that under the sort of hospitality of a very wealthy socialite. But things are not as they appear when she arrives on this island retreat.
Stacy, what book are you recommending?
Well, because the theme was short fiction tonight, I was focusing on anthologies, and I came across this one called The 50 Best Mysteries, and these are the 50 best mysteries from Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine, starting from the 1940s through the 1980s. So if you really want to dip your toe in the water and read stories that were in Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine, which is considered the top of our industry, this is really a great, great book.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic recommendation, like a sampler, right? Yeah, awesome. And Michael, what book are you recommending?
Well, staying on theme, I picked a short story collection by Bobby Matthews called Negative Tilt. Uh, I've read one of his novels. I think he's written two novels, but I wanted to see how he handled short stories, and these are excellent short stories. Um, Although not included in this book, he has a story that was selected for this year's Best American Mystery and Suspense. So he's not new to the field, but he was newish to me, and these are mostly crime fiction, but a few of the stories wander off into the horror genre, but it's well worth your while. So, Negative Tilt, Bobby Matthews.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed this taste of what a backroom event is like. The best part comes immediately after when the audience is divided into 4 breakout rooms and the authors visit each room in turn. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like because these relaxed face-to-face conversations between authors and readers are the hallmark of our backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded. What's said in the back room stays in the back room.